Most basic scripts execute in a straight line, running every command from top to bottom. But for code to be useful, it needs the ability to branch off based on data, or repeat an operation until a task is finished. This logic depends on evaluation. Using relational operators like less than or greater than, the computer checks a variable and reduces the result to a simple true or false. In this example, we are checking if a temperature variable is below 70. Because that condition is true, the program executes the too cold print statement and completely bypasses the logic inside the else block. This binary choice is the mechanism that allows software to respond to different inputs, rather than following a single unchanging path. When you need to check one variable against several specific values, like HTTP status codes, standard if-else chains become difficult to manage and read. The switch statement is a cleaner alternative for these exact matches. It routes the variable into individual case blocks, making the code easier to follow. However, switch statements have a common friction point called fall-through. If you forget the break keyword, the program continues executing into the next block, printing two different results at once. While switch statements are more readable for discrete values, they require the programmer to manually define the boundaries where execution should stop. Repetition is handled by loops. Instead of manually writing 10 separate print commands, you can use a while loop to run a single instruction until a specific condition is no longer met. This creates a risk. If you forget to update your counter variable, the condition remains true forever. The program will spin in an infinite loop until the system runs out of resources and crashes. The for loop reduces this risk by requiring the initialization, the condition, and the update to be defined in a single line. The machine processes this in a specific order. First, it initializes the variable, then it checks the condition. If true, it runs the code in the body, and only then performs the update. Pause the video here and try to write a for loop that counts backward from 10 down to 1. To count backward, we start the variable at 10, set the condition to check if it is greater than or equal to 1, and use the decrement operator to subtract from the total after each cycle. Provided the exit condition is reachable, loops allow you to handle repetitive tasks of any size without duplicating your source code. You can gain more granular control by nesting conditionals inside your loops. Here, we are counting to 10, but adding an if statement to check the value during every cycle. The continue keyword acts as a skip. When the condition is met, the program immediately jumps back to the top of the loop to begin the next iteration, bypassing any code below it. The break keyword is more absolute. It acts as an emergency exit, immediately terminating the loop and moving execution to the code that follows the brackets. Choosing the right tool depends on the data. Use if-else for ranges and switch for exact matches. For repetition, use for loops when the number of cycles is known, and while loops when waiting for a specific event. By using these structures, you build software that can evaluate information and change its behavior based on the specific scenario it encounters.